Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 209 of the SplashCast Monday Night Raw. I'm your co-host, Reggie.
I am your co-host, Norwood. Our powers combined. We are your HBCU homeboys. Welcome home. Have a seat, and let's talk a little HBCU football.
It is winding down in HBCU season. It is now, well, for some, for others, it's not.
Right.
We are now in what you call championship mode. You got the SWAC championship coming up. You have SIAC, you have them in the playoffs. But before we talk about that, I got to go ahead and say, hey, Southern University.
Oh,
ye of little faith.
Funny story.
I apologize. Oh, ye of little faith. Oh, you ain't got the graphic? That's all right. Oh, ye of little faith. Right. Southern University beat Grambling in a fantastic game, actually. Going back and forth in the Bayou Classic. Was it 27-26? 28-27. 28-27 behind the third string running back coming in and having 7 rushes for 107 yards and a touchdown. Grambling was up 17-7, and Southern then outscored them 21-7 to end the game, and it was absolutely fantastic. It was a great weekend for Southern.
I was about to say, how was the weekend? We gonna get to the game, but how was the weekend?
Big drunk. Fun. It's Bayou Classic is another homecoming. So if you didn't get to go to homecoming, you get to go to Bayou Classic and you see literally everybody.
Your vicarious live.
And everybody has kids. And so it's funny seeing everybody with kids, because my kids weren't there. Seeing everybody with kids still trying to turn up and get drunk and like you young and well, not drunk because you got kids, tipsy, and go to all the balls and the functions. But by like that, New Orleans don't really open for real till like 12. Like you go to your little functions and all of that before. And I tried hanging out with my sister, and I just couldn't do it.
That all day thing is dead. It is DEAD, dead. I don't want it. I can't do it. I will Pedialyte.
Yes and no. The Bayou Classic has events though. So as you get older, you go to the events, and that takes up your day, but it's not as strenuous.
Correct, but you start you do it.
Y'all was hopping all. Oh, the church queues was there.
That's not us. That is not us.
I know.
The Hebrew Israelites.
Marching in circles on canal.
I get that all the time. Oh, is that y'all? No, it's not us. As soon as y'all see that fringe, that's not the queues.
With the flag.
Right. And I ain't gonna say that because we yell at people.
But the weekend was great, and it started off with Marshall Faulk being announced, not officially announced, but being reported that he had agreed to become Southern University's head coach.
Right. That's the thing, is it's been announced so many different times, but it was good to see him finally in the Southern hat. That was good.
And the way that Southern did it by beating Grambling and then announcing it.
Oh man.
I starting out on a high. That, but they had planned for Grambling to win so that they could say New Hope is on the horizon, but then they won. So that just was chef's kiss. Them Grambling folks was sad. They was hurt. They was so mad. Southern was 1-9, 1-10 or something like that.
That'll make you be unhappy. I've been there before where you're just like, wait, we can't lose to this team, and why would we lose now when we're up and they not? And sometimes that's the way the life goes.
It was fun, man. I hope Marshall. Well, what you think about Marshall being hired?
I don't know enough about him. Now, this is what I will say. He was, and I think he's been a commentator, so it's not like he's been away from the game. I think that he's familiar, but I know he was running backs coach for a year.
The
Deion,
Deion Sanders crash course.
yeah. So I don't know what it looks like. It's interesting, but it's to me it's a blank slate. I'm rooting for him though for sure. He's a likable guy. Yeah, never really been an issue in the NFL or anything like that or any real bad publicity. So yeah, I'm black man. Go do a great job for a black ass school. But I don't know enough. He's from there, right?
From New Orleans, has
Man,
ties to New Orleans. I
that's
hope
great.
he's more like Eddie George, right? Eddie George had no previous head coaching experience. I think he had 1 or 2 years as an assistant, and then it was like he got it.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think he was even an official assistant. I think he was like,
and he really gets it. Like you can just tell he's a football, like he's a former football player who is now a football coach, just a football coach.
I hope Marshall goes in that direction. So hopefully he should. Oh, that boy light going out.
What do you mean by that?
Under Eddie George understand the importance of building not just the football team, but affecting the HBCU around it, right?
Gotcha.
With the land grants, with the workshops, with the bringing in of people. Deion did, but in a different way. His was more about notoriety. So if you can marry those two together, hopefully that's how you kind of. I want Marshall to be Marshall, but if you could marry those two philosophies together, I think that could be very beneficial for Southern. Hopefully,
I like it. We behind you over here at the SplashCast, big dog. We want to see you do well. Reggie, of course, is a little bit more vested than me, considering he has a degree from there. But at the end of the day, you are a great NFL player, and I would like to see you continue your legacy.
And then, once his luck too is a pattern. Mm-hmm. Mississippi Valley State for the second year in a row.
Oh Lord,
beats FAMU.
Lord,
beat them at FAMU last year.
Who?
Scam you and beat them at home. This year. FAMU has already fired their coach, so I can't say you need to go and fire the coach. They're gonna fire the coach. But this may be a blessing in disguise. Well, first off, shout out to Mississippi Valley State before I start talking about FAMU. To be as resilient as these players are at this institution when they're criminally underfunded because of the racism and all of that,
making it happen with little or nothing.
Yeah, man, just to even be there.
Oh, didn't even do that.
Just to even be there is a big deal. Got some news though. So I met a few people that at the Bayou Classic. I love networking.
Little birdie.
Little birds. All affiliated with all the HBCU sports accounts that we follow. Quinn Gray, who is the coach of Albany State. Albany State is currently in the quarterfinals of the Division II playoffs. I'm going to say that again. That's historic. I think this is probably the furthest that they've made it. They are in the quarterfinals of the Division II playoffs. Quinn Gray is their head coach. Quinn Gray is a former FAMU quarterback and an alum. He is the favorite in my eyes, which I had been saying for a while. I was hoping Southern got him, but I was like, FAMU probably already talked to him because he went to FAMU. He's the favorite to be the new coach of FAMU.
But they still got to fire James Colsey first, don't they?
He's been fired. You talking about FAMU?
No. Yes.
Yeah, he's fired.
No. I went and looked to make sure. No.
No, they gonna fire him.
That's a lot to have already negotiated the new guy and not got the old guy out yet. But FAMU, I mean, unfortunately, you can't lose these type of games. You're 5-7, 4-4 in the swag. FAMU just needs some help. They need help in prayer and help.
Let me tell you, if Quinn Gray said he would come to FAMU, they're gonna fire him. They're gonna fire Colsey. I think the
Colsey knows that the writing is on the wall. It is interesting now that teams have to fire coaches so much, or should. I don't think you have to, but you should, because it allows you to recruit, signing day, and all of the jazz that comes with that. So
we'll get to that in the whole Lane Kiffin discussion.
Correct.
But yeah, this calendar's fucked.
And it puts everybody in a precarious situation with no real good answer.
Yep. And of course, now this sets up the SWAC championship, which will be next week between PV and Jackson State. So they'll be fighting to play South Carolina State. Actually, be this weekend. So that's going to be a fun time. I wish I could go, but that'll be a great game.
Alabama State stomped out Tuskegee 58-21.
I mean, yeah. Tuskegee beat them when Alabama State was down bad, and once they got back up, they regularly score like 60 points. So, but other than that, I don't think we have anything else for HBCU. At this moment, we could probably go straight to football. I don't really need to take a break. Do you?
Yeah, let's take a quick break, ladies and gentlemen.
We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Because when we come back, football is a lot. It's a lot going on. It's a lot of things shaking and moving on every different front. Some teams done for the season. Some teams trying to hold on to whatever they got left. And we back.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, with our football segment of episode 209 of the SplashCast. 209. 3 years.
Right.
Took us back 3 years, bro. 209 of the SplashCast. Monday Night Raw. We got into our football segment. Specifically, we're going to start out with NCAA football. Then we're going to go to pro football. We just finished our HBCU. If you are listening to the playback of this, go back and listen to the mic check. Really good Hawks conversation, as well as news around the league for basketball. College football, brother. Top 25 conference football conference championship week is set. How you feeling?
I guess we should start. You want to see those first?
Yeah. You do conference championship and we can talk about the games that affiliate with it. Each one.
All right, let's get that pulled up because I do have feelings and probably not the greatest feelings. Jesus. As y'all can see on the screen here, ACC. Oh no, let me find it. Yes, ACC championship, Duke versus Virginia. Talk about disappointing. That is worst case scenario. It was awful. It's all of the things and none of the things at the same time. It is 10 types of terrible. I really don't enjoy it. I also do give a lot of credit to the ACC for having very competitive conference. It has provided us with a ton of good football to watch. It's kind of sucks that this is how it kind of shook out. But, hey, man, watching Georgia Tech this season has been fun.
I ain't giving y'all no damn credit. Y'all have competitive conference, but the teams that's supposed to win, all of them tricked it off. How are all of your playoff contenders tricked it off? Every single one. You had Miami, y'all tricked it off during the whole season. You could have said you tricked it off during when you signed Carson Beck, but hey, y'all said I was crazy. Blase, blase, blah. I still haven't forgot y'all Miami fans. Y'all have not been on any social media where y'all said y'all was gonna invite me, and once y'all made the playoffs, y'all was gonna talk all this shit to me and how Miami was gonna destroy Georgia. But that I digress. How Miami has tricked it off, Georgia Tech tricked it off, and the only other team that you really had a chance was SMU, who went and tricked it off the Cal. So now you got Virginia, who is the last hope that you have. Virginia nobody talking about them. Not one person. They have not made any graphics of the playoffs, and they played Duke. Duke, who I told y'all, I said, hey, Duke may mess around and be spoiler because y'all was laughing at them because they got beat. They got beat like 34-3 or something like that. And I was like, hey, they still have this good conference record. And lo and behold, we are about to watch ACC basketball tournament football with Virginia versus Duke. Ha! And Duke's going to win. and y'all not gonna have nobody in the playoff. In Florida State, y'all shine knight in shining armor. Y'all decide to bring back Mike Norvell. Y'all are totally fucked.
Whoa. Thank you. As a team that has to play the Florida State Seminoles, I appreciate you guys making that decision. You've done me. I don't care about anybody else. You've done me a special favor. And for that, I appreciate you. ACC, it kind of is what it is. Y'all probably will not have anything in there. And that's y'all problem, not mine. Next up, Big Ten. This grinds my gears in ways that I really hate. Of course, Ohio State's going to make it because they're the only good team in this conference. And then you have the scam-ass Indiana team who's going to make it to the Big Ten championship. And then they're going to lose. And they say, well, the only team we lost to was Ohio State. So that doesn't mean anything. But there will be peace in the morning. And the reason that it's funny is this is not the big game. This is the noon game, even though it's the 1 versus 2. Nobody wants to watch that game. They want to watch Georgia versus Alabama, and rightfully so, because that's where good football is going to be played. So that's the reason that's the primetime game, even though Georgia is 4 and Alabama is 10. That game is more interesting than 1 versus 2.
I disagree with that. I feel like that's hella bias. You can't. College game day is going to the SEC championship, bro. You get to see Signetti, who big talker versus Ohio State, who even though they beat Michigan, wasn't really that impressive to me. They had the controversial touchdown that wasn't a touchdown. If they didn't get that, that was 4th down with Michigan the ball at the 50.
I don't.
So it's like,
I don't try to hold them to that standard because Ohio State, Michigan gets weird consistently.
But Indiana versus Ohio State to me has the storyline of David versus Goliath. First time, only been good for 30 years against the defending national champions and Jeremiah Smith and all of those things.
Oh, so this is going to be the story when David get his shit rocked?
It could be. It could be.
Let me tell you,
it could destroy them.
If David gets stomped out, then the David and Goliath story is not the David and Goliath story. You just
could be Mendoza's Heisman moment too, though.
Sure. What's your money say?
My money? Oh, Ohio State. I mean, I ain't betting for Indiana.
Do you think it's even close?
Yeah, I do. I think Indiana jumps out 13-3.
What?
And I think Ohio State just walks them down and beats them like 31 to
Ohio State. If y'all don't beat them by more than 21 points, I'm disappointed.
Why?
I don't think that they're that. I don't think they're good, honestly. Just don't.
You think they're better than Oregon? They beat Oregon.
Oregon hasn't played. Oregon is, and I'm willing to acknowledge it. It's leaning on a legacy. I went back and looked at who Oregon played. There's nothing convincing.
Washington.
And
they just beat Washington.
Okay, cool story. Washington was good when Michael Penix was there. If you don't know, he's the Atlanta Falcons quarterback now. Well, will be next season. But I have to be realistic. Oregon didn't play anybody.
Nope.
Oregon is just a name and marketable Dan Lanning. That's it. But Indiana beating them doesn't really like that. Now you're legitimizing two people who both may be not legit. So no, and I don't think people. If you asked 100 people who watch college football, which one do you want to watch? Ohio State versus Indiana or Georgia versus Alabama? I would say a good 60-70% is going to say Georgia, Alabama, even though you're getting a chance in a conference championship to watch the number 1 team play the number 2 team. These are supposed to be the 2 best teams in college football.
Only 2 undefeated teams, right?
Correct. And that means somebody's going to leave there defeated. And people still want to watch Georgia, Alabama.
If Ohio State wins, I think Indiana would fall further than if Indiana won and Ohio State lost.
100%.
I think Indiana would not get. I think they would end up getting No, they'll probably still get a bye. They'll probably still get the bye.
Yeah,
because they said that
undefeated.
The conference titles games shouldn't count against them.
And they're gonna say, "Hey, okay, we're not the best team in the country, but we lost to the best team in the country, and they're the only undefeated team left." That's the part. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. That's the reason it's just a waste of time.
I think it's gonna be a good game. But yeah, that's the Big Ten. So you got the ACC who's going to cancel themselves out. You got the Big Ten. Who else?
Big 12. This is actually going to be, I think, a very good football game.
Probably the best game.
BYU. No, I don't. Georgia, Alabama here now. We're not going to do that.
I'm talking about I think BYU and Texas Tech going to be like a barn burner.
I think so too. This is if order of importance, this is the second game to watch. You got two different styles. You got BYU who does it their way. You have Texas Tech who spent all that money. Money, cash is king. It is. And SMU and Texas Tech have proven it. If you spend the money, you can get right into the playoffs. I think this is going to be very, very exciting. There is also quiet rumblings that the head coach at BYU may be the new coach at Penn State.
Kalani Sataki. I would be wildly surprised if they did that. Talk about breaking the mold. They would go from Joe Paterno from civil rights all the way to then get James Franklin to then go Samoan.
Right.
Not saying he doesn't deserve it because he's got BYU cooking.
Man.
But just from the culture.
And it has been.
The culture of Big Ten football and where he would be. I mean, he would be breaking barriers for sure.
I like him.
He's a good coach, though. He's a damn good coach.
For sure.
Yeah, that's going to be a really good game, though. Especially if he wins. Then they get in the playoff if he wins.
Exactly.
If Texas Tech loses, are they out?
Texas Tech's 5. No, they're not going to drop from 5 to 13.
Yeah, you just probably get a home game. You don't get to bye. Yeah. Yeah. Does BYU get the bye if they win?
Yes, because Indiana, Ohio State, especially if Indiana loses, they're going to drop out of the top 4. So somebody's going to have to replace them. And Texas Tech, if they win, they would definitely go up. BYU, they're at 11. They ain't gonna make it, but that will put them back into the playoffs. And right now, they're on the bubble.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's must win for BYU. It's a nice win if Texas Tech gets it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that also, I think, is going to be a lot of motivation. Is hey, we going to the playoffs no matter what. Now we're just really picking our seed. BYU is like, hey, winning, you're in. When people are desperate, I know that they're going to coach differently. You're going to coach more aggressively, because if not, then what are we doing? We just go whatever bowl game we get. But call your best plays, whatever it takes. We can get into this, and I think that's scary for Texas Tech. That BYU, hey, all the good plays you've been hiding all year, throw all your spades.
Got to.
The game of the week here, though.
SEC.
Game of the week.
Georgia versus Bama. How we got here? How we get here? Texas upset Texas A&M.
Correct.
Bama won the Iron Bowl barely, and Georgia barely beat Georgia Tech.
Point of order. What the fuck are y'all doing?
Georgia Tech? Man, look. We were just trying to run the ball. We ain't trying to do. They scored 49 points on us last year. 48. Would have been 49.
Because now, Reggie, just last week, we was talking, And I said, Georgia, legit-ish. And your response was, hey, man, I think this team playing the best football in all of college football. And then they come out and
that has not, my opinion has not changed on that.
Even after this game, Gunnar Stockton throwing for 7 yards.
Yeah. Hey, it happens. It happens. It happens, bro. The defense was sketchy at the beginning of the year. The defense looks top notch. Now we're gonna see when Alabama come in throwing the ball all over the place.
Right.
But this team, to me, and plus it's a rivalry game. I mean, Southern was 1-10 and beat Grambling. So
fair. I do account for that, but I was just like, and I think the Georgia Tech once again is a more solid team. Them and Vandy are better than I think than the way that we've kind of looked at them in the past. Like they've had good seasons. Like, okay,
Georgia Tech's better than their record.
I agree.
Let's make no mistake about it, Tech. Y'all choked.
And saying you choked and you're 9-2, that's wild for Georgia Tech.
You choked against North Carolina State. Y'all were supposed to beat them. And you were supposed to beat Pitt at home. Y'all were supposed to win those games.
And didn't. Pitt is 8-3. They right there. They neck and neck. But I do think the Georgia Tech was a better team.
And Bama beat Auburn in the Iron Bowl. Again, if I'm going to say the same thing about Georgia,
rivalry, yeah,
it's a rivalry. Because Auburn ain't got no coach. Well, they got a coach now. They hired South Florida's Alex Golesh.
So that is spooky times when you play against teams with no coaches. Ask Florida State. When you don't have no coach, anything can happen because who you gonna blame? Who you gonna blame? I ain't gonna be coaching this team next year anyway. You be mad if you want to.
Whatever you want to.
Right. They're the tendencies, they left with the coach who left. So now you're right. There's no data to go to and say, hey, this is what this guy typically does. Hell no. This guy typically does not do this job.
Yeah. I'm interested to see how this Alex Golesh thing hiring goes, because South Florida to me was a scam. They beat Miami, right?
Mm-hmm.
No,
correct.
They got smoked by Miami. They beat somebody else.
Florida. They beat us.
Yeah, they beat Florida. But then that was, and I mean, Florida, I don't think y'all were ever ranked after that week. So that was their best win.
That was the end of the season.
They didn't really have a tough schedule. So Alex Golesh is being hired with the side eye. But at this point, Auburn struck out, and we'll get to that when we talk about coaches. They struck out on their coach that they thought they were going to get. Shout out to Florida. Y'all stole him. So,
fool can't get fooled again.
It is what it is. And then, of course, you got your Texas upsets Texas A&M, which then allows Georgia to sneak in there. Marcel Reed got hurt, right? He hurt his knee, and he was never the same after that.
Nope.
But that isn't an excuse. He was throwing them interceptions, though.
I mean, we've been kind of waiting on the shoe to drop all season. Eventually, they were going to trick one of these games off. I hate to say it, but it just comes with it. It's part of life. I didn't think that this would be the team. Shout out to Arch Manning finding a way to get it done. Once it's like, oh, nobody cares about you anymore. Nobody believes in you. Then you play decent. Well, I don't know how that works next season, but congrats, I guess.
Yeah, and Lane, you got to stop. I understand you advocating for your team, but you got to stop telling them lies, talking about if you all don't make it to the playoff, it's a travesty and a mockery that we don't make it. No, bro. Y'all got 3 losses. Texas.
Oh.
That's what Sarkisian said.
Oh.
It's a shame if we don't make it.
Once you get into the 3-loss category, hey, you're not in control of where you go in and who you play. I mean, if you make the playoff or not. Now everything is to chance. really once you get to that second loss, it gets real trick baggy, to be honest. You're gonna be mad at being with 3 losses. It's teams with 2 losses who ain't gonna make the playoffs.
Yeah. So I mean, the SEC championship game, I ain't excited. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Why not?
They said, hey, y'all play Bama. I was like, bruh, again.
Oh yeah. I would not be excited either because I mean,
again. We play them again.
And
but
they
could be the year to beat them. We could sit. We could accomplish 2 things. We could win the SEC with 3 things. We can win the SEC championship. We could secure a bye, and we could send Ryan Williams away from Bama because he ain't had no targets for 2 weeks. And they've been going to the freshman Horton. And then, of course, you got the American Conference. We got all them other ones, but you got the American Conference, which is going to be Tulane versus North Texas for the Power 5 joint.
I'll be probably the only person watching that. And the reason that I'll be watching that is Florida has hired John Summerall as a new head coach. They are going to allow him to coach to finish out the season. And I want to see, I think that he knows that he's going to have a million more eyes watching them before. I will take it, of course, with a grain of salt, but this will be my true first introduction to this man as a person who I care about. That's just the honest truth.
They said, didn't you say he's like Little Billy?
The stats are so close. They're essentially the same person. I also understand that we are now in that position where this is how the majority of coaches for at least, I would say, the next probably 10 years are going to come from, because all the old guys are making their exit. There are not that many elder statesman coaches to move around. So you're
not that's been there for a while. No.
Right. So, that was my thing. And I told y'all on Saturday Morning Live, and I'll say it again here, we definitely wanted Lane Kiffin. I'm going to say that, and I'm going to say it out loud. We missed on the guy that we wanted. Now, sometimes there is peace in the morning. Lane has had a lot of stuff that has come with him. He says he doesn't know how much he's getting paid, which is like, why start this on a lie?
Because it's Lane.
Correct. So, and I know what he's doing. Him and his agent had a conversation. Hey, I want to be paid more than this guy. And as long as I get paid more than this guy, technically I don't know what I'm getting paid. But I do know what I'm not getting paid.
You put any stock into the conspiracy theory that he's really eyeing the Alabama job and waiting for Dober to leave?
I don't put anything past that man at this point. Now, I didn't like the way that people position that. Duh. What do you expect? When we go to work, I'm eyeing another position. I don't think that he's gotten to LSU and thinks that, oh, this is the end. Like, this is the end all be all. There's a better opportunity presented, then he's going to take it. Or there's another job that he wants, he's going to take it. And I hate when we do things that we would always accept in people's personal life, but when we put it on sports, people's like, what are you doing? I want a better job. Don't you want a better job? And if we all want better jobs, and whatever a better job means, it might be a place I'm more familiar with. I mean, and you also have to remember, this dude's dad was Monty Kiffin. He is a legacy football coach. This is a job for him. He and his dad coached everywhere. So yeah, if I can continue to get better and better jobs, then sure. And would I be surprised if, I mean, let's be real, I think he probably coaches for another 20 years. In that 20 years, it could be very realistic that he could be coach of Alabama by the time it's said and done. And I think that at least it's reasonable to think that he makes a venture into the NFL as a head coach.
All right, I got a few thoughts on this Lane thing. The fallout. Let's talk about Ole Miss first. Let's talk about why you have no reason you should have no reason to be upset. Nobody is going to stay at Ole Miss and be the
Happy.
longest tenured coach,
Right.
whatever.
Unless it's Eli Manning.
Yeah, unless they have a personal tie to the school. Other than that, Lane was on his way out. That was beneficial for both of y'all. That was a reclamation project.
Correct.
He got the stench off him.
Y'all needed to be legit.
Y'all got the stench off you.
And he needed to be legit. And y'all both got it.
What I will say about this is the way that he left with the mess and making his. I don't like making people's private conversations public a lot, the insider information. And I know Ole Miss was doing this to slander his name about him wanting to coach them through the playoff. We knew that wasn't going to happen because you're basically giving them inside recruiting for the rest of the year.
Right. You're going to let him just talk to these players and spend every day with these players from that. Like, that dude is your direct competition. And I don't think that people have paid attention, but you know how you have your permanent rivalry in the SEC now with the schedule? That's a permanent rivalry. LSU versus Ole Miss. They'll play every year. Every year.
But at the same time, you can't threaten the administration, and you can't try to strong arm the administration. One thing that in business is what they will do is you are not bigger than the business, no matter who you are. And him being booed by the crowd, y'all crowds are stupid. Y'all are delusional if you think he was going to stay there.
There's fans. They're fanatical. That's the reason. It's just life.
But Lane, you are a sucker for not telling a team face to face. If that's true, you are a sucker for that.
Now, I don't like that type of stuff because a lot it's like well, you've worked at one place for the majority of your career, but as a person who's moved around a bit more, it's like, oh, I put in my 2 weeks notice, and then sometimes companies be like, oh, well, you can just go ahead and get out of here.
So you think that's what they told him?
I think
that's what they told him because they said he couldn't coach. But
there's a little bit to that.
The team. They said he addressed the team via video chat.
Yeah, but if I'm Ole Miss, I don't want Lane talking to any of my players anymore, and I want to make it look like I'm spinning this negatively. This guy abandoned you, and y'all are in the playoffs. Because I don't want you to talk to that man and find out that maybe he did want to address the team, and then you have a conversation. He'd be like, hey, well, next year I'll have a spot for you.
I mean, you already had that. But yeah, and then he took the offensive coordinator, which I'm not surprised. No, I don't know you personally, but your last name is Weiss.
Charlie Weiss Jr.
I think you Charlie Weiss's son. And you know we don't have no love for your daddy because he took a Notre Dame team that was built by a black man and took all the notoriety and didn't win shit. So, but to me, this highlights that the NCAA has to change this calendar because now when you get into college football and the committee for college football playoffs have already added this amendment into the rules when they decide the teams, which they used against Florida State when Jordan Travis got hurt, even though they were the ACC champions at 13-0, that, hey, if you lose your coach or if you lose a significant starting player like your quarterback, we have the right to say you're not the same team. Well, let me tell you who is not the same team without Lane Kiffin and Charlie Weiss Jr. Ole Miss. And they are scheduled to make an at-large and possibly host a home game in the playoffs. Y'all have to change this. Y'all have to change the calendar.
I don't know how they change the calendar because it's like we acknowledge that football is important, but this is more reflective of the academic calendar and the times that you have to be in and out of school. So I don't know how they do it unless they start earlier. I think that starting college football earlier is better.
I mean, what, a week earlier?
I would say 2 weeks. You get more out of
mid-August.
You get out of the way of you get more out of the way of the NFL, and you can be ending your season at the end of the year, which is good because when the new year starts, you could be on to the new basic. Your calendar year and your football year will start at the same time. It's been a lot of talk about. I think it's something that they're going to have to seriously consider, because otherwise you're just going to have this and
every year,
right? And sure, Lane is putting us in a position where it's not very fun to watch, but Tulane's getting the same situation with John Summerall. I mean, Florida just being nice and letting him do it because why not? I mean, we out of it, and best of luck to you, but that's just the way that it's set up.
Yeah. And then there's more fallout from this. You got Pete Golding, who's now promoted from defensive coordinator. Boy, he's had a nice, steady increase.
Right.
He's now going to be the head coach of Ole Miss, which was smart by Ole Miss because I think it keeps continuity.
Yep.
But then the fallout you already mentioned, because if Florida had gotten Lane, then John Summerall for Tulane was the favorite, and they thought he had him at Auburn. Now, Auburn doesn't have a coach, so they have to go out and hire old boy from South Florida, but that kind of came out of left field because he now goes because Summerall goes to Florida because Florida whiffed on Lane.
Now,
and then you got Ed Orgeron, who could possibly be the new coach of Tulane now.
I don't understand that, and I honestly think that was fake. You have to show me that because I don't. It doesn't make sense to me. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Why? Get the stench up off you.
There is no stench on Coach O, and I would rather be the defensive coordinator for LSU than to be the head coach at Tulane.
Oh, you forgot about why he got fired.
No,
he didn't get fired because of losing.
Right. That's the reason it don't matter.
You say ain't no stench. That stench is on there.
I think that his personality is one where, all right, cool. But I mean,
he can't go back to FAMU.
Yes, he can. They love him.
Maybe I put more stock in what he did. He emailed Udoka himself.
No, he was wild. He was tripping, but he didn't. Udoka was in a relationship with somebody, and he was in a relationship with somebody who did not want to be in a relationship with him. And you kept pushing it. That's different. That's harassment. Coach O was just down there living too good. Those are two different things to me. I think that
people's wives.
I mean, I don't think the LSU cares about that. To be completely honest, I don't think the LSU. I don't think the football fans care about that. I don't think the LSU fans care about that. And if he comes back and I mean, it's Lane. It's already going to be a circus. You might as well put some monkeys in there.
Yep. So that whole Lane thing was I'm interested to see how he does it. If he can figure out, he's got to get a really good defensive coordinator. Pete Golden ain't going to cut it. You got to get somebody, because all that scoring 50 points and losing 60 to 55, they're not going to take that in Baton Rouge.
No, but I mean, that's the reason
right
now.
You bring is over with.
Coach O, familiar face, and he's just likable. All right, you did some wild shit. Sure. They like him.
Yeah.
That's one of it's kind of one of the benefits. Now this was funny to me. They win the Egg Bowl against Mississippi, and the post is, of course, they're talking about the Egg Bowl trophy, but staying home. And then immediately Lane leaves. That was funny to me.
And then they
I don't know.
They did that.
I think so too. I think that this was being a little facetious. I think this is them thumbing their nose at Lane in the way that they could, the best way that they could, and trying to keep it together. What else? Oklahoma beats LSU 17-13. John Mateer wins, gets it done. I really hate that he wasn't healthy all season. I think that I give them credit for number one being 9-2 and losing your quarterback, who is a big part of your team, with a hand injury. But I think that they could have really ran it up this year, personally.
Yeah. I mean, they did what they were supposed to do. That defense, now they are dangerous though, because that defense is for real.
Right.
Venables
and that
chomping at the bit.
If you can give OU some time to rest and get healthy, nobody's paying attention to them. Those are the most dangerous teams to me. Where nobody cares what you got going on. Oh man, we can live by the cover of darkness.
Let me ask you this: Utah beat Kansas, Oklahoma beat LSU, Vandy. Matter of fact, let's make sure we pull up that graphic. Please pull up that graphic.
Man, Vandy, I talked because I was with the Tennessee. I was with Tennessee. I was with the Tennessee people last night. And we got big drunk and laughed and talked about it. And that was every time I saw a Tennessee alum. I said, brother, how do you feel about losing to the nerds and not losing, getting whooped?
Monkey stomped.
Right.
And the thing is, y'all were up. Y'all were winning. And then Diego Pavia came back and said, you know what?
Yo, that man's family is so wild. His mama's shaking butt. His brother's getting DUIs. They getting put out of the front row.
They said, hey, you can stay here. Just don't lean or sit on the wall. They said, we making our new rules. I said, you a new fool. You in the South, brother. You still you.
Nah, they don't mind it. I got bail money. They don't mind going to jail.
You're right. They went and they was like, cool, I'll be back.
And then bandit people go get them right out of jail. They love that. That is one of the things about being nerds is you finally got a little sauce over there for the first time. And let them do whatever they want. Are they winning? We beat Tennessee. We'll get your brother out of jail.
Again. Beat him again.
Right.
And shout out, I do want to say before I finish my question, I want to say shout out to Candace Story Lee. She's the AD for Vanderbilt, the first black female AD at Vandy, and the first black female AD in the SEC. Shout out to her. And why is that important? Because she did something that most schools can't do. She got Clark Lee, the head coach, who has Vanderbilt playing this way, to sign a 6-year deal.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-year deal.
6-year deal. So she is playing. She is doing it right now,
and she's doing it for multiple teams. I think their soccer team, their baseball team, their golf team. This is a very, 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 very legit football team. That's the one thing I will say about Tennessee losing to Vanderbilt. This is kind of a misnomer because, sure, Tennessee, you can't lose to Vanderbilt because they're Vanderbilt and they're your in-state rival and they're just your little brother who you take outside and whoop. But this is when that one summer that your little brother was in the weight room every day and was really disciplined. And then you're like, hey, little fella, a little stronger than usual. What you got going on? I think that Vanderbilt this season, I hope it's sustainable, but they look like what I would consider more to the median of an SEC team. This is a team that they could beat a lot of teams. I like that they play to their strengths. This is what we're good at. These are the guys who block well. We're going to run behind them every time. How about that?
Left side. Right. So Utah beat Kansas. Oklahoma beat LSU. Vandy beat the Vols. Miami over Pitt. Notre Dame over Stanford. Well, that's 5, 10, and 2 teams.
Bam. Whooped 38-7. What else? Andrew Luck. Got more work to do, brother.
Yeah, he got you up out of there. So with those 5 teams, we ain't worried about UCLA yet. We'll get there. USC has 3 or 4 losses, I believe. So with those 5 teams, before we go bring up anything else, who is more deserving? Utah, Oklahoma, I think Oklahoma's in. Utah, Vandy, Miami, or Notre Dame. Who do you take?
I take no. It's nuanced, man, because it's trick baggy. Notre Dame lost to Miami 27-24 when Miami was the number 10 team in the country, and they lost to Texas A&M 41-40. So in total, they lost by 4 points. And it was the first 2 games of the season. They've gotten better. And if we allow other teams to get better, then I would assume, have to give them the same opportunity for us to consider improvement.
So you take them over Miami?
I'm working through this, brother. Relax. Miami, you lost to Louisville and SMU. You didn't do yourself any favors. Teams you lost to are unranked and were never ranked.
No, SMU was.
They weren't ranked when you played them. Excuse me. So, but the head-to-head, you beat Notre Dame. That's the reason it's tough, because if you played head-to-head and you won, then you would kind of I would lean towards Miami. But the losses that they have, and much later in the season, I think that I have to give Miami the opportunity for growth. Then you said Utah and who else?
Vandy.
Vandy
lost to Alabama and Texas.
I think the Vandy's a playoff team. I personally think the Vandy's a playoff team. Now, I think that Utah also deserves a conversation here because they lost to Texas Tech. They did get whooped, and they lost to BYU by 3.
Texas Tech whooped everybody, though.
Correct.
Literally everybody.
So I will probably have Miami out, Utah in, Vanderbilt in, Notre Dame in. Miami probably would be the team that I would not put in.
I don't think you can have that many people. I think you're gonna have 12 teams, right?
Yeah. So I have Ohio State. I have Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, Georgia, Texas Tech, Oregon, Ole Miss. Those are all either undefeated or one-loss teams. Mm-hmm. Next up, Oklahoma, I think a good team. Alabama.
If they win the SEC championship.
Correct. BYU and Utah. That will get me to 12. Miami will be out.
So BYU and Utah are your first 2. I mean, Miami is your first 2 out.
Miami and Michigan will be my first 2 out.
Did you say Notre Dame?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I don't have Michigan. Michigan had 3 losses. They ain't in there.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like,
on my list, in my discussion.
Well, I mean, after that, it's Michigan, Texas, USC. I mean, you're getting to the 3-loss teams at that point. Tulane and Georgia Tech are the only 2-loss teams that are not really in contention.
I would Oklahoma's in, so I would take. I think taking Vandy. If you let Texas in, you got to let Vandy in, because Vandy lost by 1 point to Texas.
I don't got. Wait. Texas ain't in.
Oh, that's right. You said that. Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame should be punished, but they're gonna make it. But they're always gonna make it, and that's not fair.
That is,
it's not they're always going to make it because they're good. It's because they get to pick and choose who they play.
Correct.
Utah's unfortunate just because it's just unfortunate. It's just misfortune for you.
Right.
It's just misfortune.
But if they win their conference championship, they gotta get into the playoffs.
They win the conference championship, they host a home game.
Yeah, I think that yeah. And BYU and Utah are good football teams.
Utah's not playing in
Vandy deserves
it. So BYU.
Yeah.
So Utah, I don't know if Utah would make it.
And I'll be completely honest. I don't think everybody want to play with Vandy.
Yeah. Not everybody. I don't know if Vandy scares anybody in the playoffs.
No, I don't think that they do. I think that that's where you end up getting that's where you, whoa. How did I get here? Diego Pavia, please stop. Please stop. And then you in the fail clutch because they're Vandy and you didn't respect them. I mean, look at Tennessee's played a good season of football. They got thrashed. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and kick Tennessee's ass like they suck. They have made, like, even though they're not gonna make the playoffs, they lost their star quarterback at the beginning of the season, and now they're 8-3. It's all right.
Yeah. Well, then you said the 3 loss teams. You get to that USC UCLA game. USC beats UCLA 29-10. We knew that was going to happen. But the news is UCLA has hired James Madison University's coach, Bob Chesney.
He's been coaching
5-year deal. Now, if you remember, if I'm not mistaken, Chesney replaced Signetti.
Correct.
So JMU has kind of a pipeline of coaches right now. Started a pipeline of coaches.
I'm not putting Signetti into this conversation of anything until I see him do something. And coaching UCLA, bro, congratulations on
23 wins and 1 loss in your first 2 years is pretty good, man. In the Big Ten.
I think that their schedule has been very kind to them.
Well,
I want and let me be very clear. This is not hate. I personally don't think I have enough data to say that this guy's good or bad. I would like to see them play teams that I think are good, and then I'll be able to say, hey, this guy and this team is good, or they're not. But I haven't seen them play enough like respectable competition for me to confidently say that.
Yeah.
But my skepticism is considered hate because I just don't have enough data.
Yeah. I mean, 23-1 is tough. It's tough.
Right. But who you beat?
I guess this is kind of the end of college football. Before we go, Michigan State fires Jonathan Smith. Pain and strife.
Nothing but pain and strife forever. It's up and it's stuck. Now, I will say, the guy who they got is a guy that people love. What was his name? Pat Fitzgerald. There are a lot of people who have been very high on him, and I don't like that because I want to see Michigan State struggle forever. But I'm going to be honest and realistic and say, hey, a lot of people think that he's going to be a very good coach for them. And Michigan State used to be a decent program before they did that shit, and they've been in turmoil ever since. Treat people right.
Getting a good coach now, I mean, you have a chance to compete with Penn State now for number 3, and Indiana, I guess, for number 3.
And Michigan. 4. Michigan can be had. There is nothing in Michigan. Michigan can be had, and they spending big money and not blossoming.
Well,
they did. They spent a lot of money.
Young team. I think they're a young team, but yeah, I think they overachieved this year.
Nobody like youth don't matter when you spend money.
It don't. You right. Kentucky fires Mike Stoops. After getting trounced 41-0 against Louisville, they have hired Oregon offensive coordinator Will Stein as their new coach. which is interesting because Oregon is in the playoff and they have now lost their offensive coordinator. And I have not seen any news where they said that he is going to coach in the playoff. And I think they actually went through this. Georgia went through this with Dan Lanning. He was leaving, but he coached through the 2021 championship. Is Mike Stoops the best coach ever at Kentucky? I would have to say in my lifetime he is. I mean, he's probably the only coach at Kentucky.
I want to say this, and hopefully people don't take it the wrong way. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. That's a basketball school.
But he accomplished so much in terms of bringing football into relevancy for University of Kentucky.
I agree. I think that this only matters for Kentucky fans. And I think that part I get. All right, this is the best we've ever had. He might not have been great to y'all, but he the man to me. He's it's a little bit different, but he's kind of like their Matt Ryan, where I know that the rest of the world might not respect this man, but what he's done for that program, he probably means the world to them.
Yeah.
But do I care about? No, you not. I don't even know what number Stoops you are in level of ranking. You at least maybe have to be behind Bob.
Yeah, he's 2. I think he's 3 of them total. He's number 2. Right. And then, of course, Arkansas hires Memphis coach Ryan Silverfield. I think they've got kind of a pipeline going from Memphis to Arkansas anyway.
Why?
Why? Jump away.
Why? Like, what has that guy done in Memphis that says he should be coaching in Arkansas? What has Memphis won?
You know, when you say you kind of got to know that you may not be able to get the 10 or the 9 and you shoot for the 4, 5, 6. That's what Arkansas just did. You knew you wasn't getting nobody. You really should have kept old boy, but I don't think he wanted to stay.
I'm leaving here with something.
But yeah, basically. And Petrino wasn't it. So
that's my only thing is I looked at that and I was like, nah, that guy hasn't done anything in Memphis. Memphis has a decent amount of NIL money from FedEx, et cetera. So it ain't like he's not had the resources, and you're not playing against the most difficult teams, and you haven't won anything. This is kind of a damn near fail up. But I think that Arkansas.
That's a sweet job for him, though. Ain't no expectations in Arkansas right now.
So this is what I did here today, is that somebody got to get the checks, right? Somebody has to have that job. But Arkansas is now Kentucky. It's basketball. All that Tyson food money goes to basketball. They're trying to win a basketball championship. So, yes, somebody has to coach Arkansas, and it is an SEC job. And this is kind of what you get. You just get a guy. You probably don't spend a ton of money because we're not trying to win in football right now. So we're not going to spend a bunch of money and just lose. We'll try this guy out. And if it works, great. If not, in 2 to 3 years, we'll be looking for another coach. But nobody's upset because we're here for basketball.
Yep. And finally, I think you have this on there. Arizona beat Arizona State.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool story. Best of luck to y'all next year or this year or whenever y'all play again.
But I think we've come to the end of college football. We've covered all the talking points I've had, and we covered all the games that mattered. So, that being said,
and if we did not talk about your team don't matter.
Right?
How about that? How about that? I want y'all to make that very clear. And I can also acknowledge the only reason that we're talking about my team is because we have a new coach. But I will say that I do appreciate that we finally got one. I asked and prayed and prayed and asked and then asked and prayed for Billy Napier to be fired. And finally, he is gone. I am going to be interested to see what he does next.
Oh, he gonna Bruce Pearl. He's gonna go right to Georgia. He was already there. Gonna go right to Georgia. Georgia screen game gonna be amazing. Director of screens,
if
football
he
analyst
goes
of screens.
to Georgia. Oh, scary thing, scary ass thing. Jaden Ball.
Yeah. If I'm somebody, I offer him enough money just to take him away from Florida.
We've seen this before. We've seen this movie before with Etienne. I am afraid Jaden Ball goes to Georgia. That is a very real fear of mine.
And he said he almost committed, but they wanted him to play linebacker, and he wanted to be a running back. The thing about Georgia is...
Right. I did see that.
They have 4 running backs.
Any of them better than him?
All underclassmen.
Any of them better than him?
Not one. I think Chauncey Bowens will end up being as good as him. But I don't know if he leaves and goes to Georgia. I can see him leaving and going to LSU. For sure. With Lane?
I'm more okay with that. I just don't want to lose him to you. That would hurt.
If it happens, y'all know, because that'll be the first thing we talk about in the mic check. Hey, guess what happened today? But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back and talk about... I'm going to speed through football, to be honest, because I'm so frustrated. I'm not even frustrated. I actually took my hands away from the wheel, and just whatever happens with this team, farce of a team.
Reggie is now getting to where I got to, but I told y'all last week, lose it, lose the game. Don't go out there and give your best effort. I need you to do that. So we are going to take a very quick break. I'm literally going to go get a sip. We're coming right back. And always remember, like, follow, subscribe, tell somebody about the pod. Y'all stop pod with me in person. Y'all love the pod with me in person. Boy, we get together, and then y'all want to pod for 3 hours. Like, I just didn't pod on Monday. Be right back.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, for our final segment of episode 209 of SplashCast Monday Night Raw. Our NFL segment. We are going to talk about the Falcons first, and then we will go around the league with the rest of the football games that happened this week. And I've divided those into actual questions that I have for Norwood pop quiz.
Oh Lord, you gonna ran that by me?
Nope. Good content when you don't know. Falcons lose to the Jets. Did you watch it?
No. I told y'all to lose. I told y'all why to lose. I told y'all how to lose. And they lost. This team is a waste of time. And the part about this is it's uberly frustrating for me because you can't say the offense sucks. You can't say the defense sucks. But somehow we suck. That's crazy to me. So what that has to be, that's the coach. He has to go. I'm so tired of him skinning and grinning. I hate the fact that he don't have facial hair. Everything about him bothers me now.
You ready to break up with him? That's what you do when you ready to break up with a girl. Everything that you liked before just pisses you off.
And it's just burns my soul. Kirk Cousins, 21 and 33, 234 yards and a touchdown. Now he was sacked 2 times. He's also a statue. Not big of a surprise. Bijan Robinson, 142 yards, 1 touchdown. Then also came back 5 receptions for 51 yards. So that's almost 200 yards in total offense. Kyle Pitts, 7 receptions for 82 yards, no touchdowns. Now, it was 7 receptions on 8 targets, so, he was getting it done. But you can't lose to the Jets, and we did. So what are we doing? Y'all blew up the little Billy Napier situation, but this is the same thing here. We know it's over. Put everybody out of their misery. Please, Lord.
A few things about this game. Yes, I agree it's over. I think everybody knows Raheem was coaching for his job, and he essentially had to make the playoffs in order to keep his job. And that is pretty much a wrap. So it seems to be the nail in the coffin for Raheem. Special teams has been an issue all year.
Yeah,
Young Wei-Koo just kicked the ground, and I've never seen somebody stub their toe mid-kick.
And he's a New York Giant now. He's a New York Giant. That's not our problem.
Yeah, New York Giant. But, he was our problem. That shows he should have been fired.
Very, very indicative of what our season was. And we knew that from last season that I literally got it pulled up right here. Boy, that foot probably hurt too. Ooh.
Our offense would go down and score, and our defense got a 3 and out. Our offense goes down and scores, and then we allow a 70-yard kick return. We stopped them after a punt, and we muffed the punt inside the 5, and they score immediately. So that's 14 points that they got off straight special teams. No defense, no offense, no nothing. You take those away, 24-13, maybe. It's frustrating. It's also frustrating seeing the points that you didn't improve kind of come back to bite you. So A.D. Mitchell ate Mike Hughes' lunch. You're muted.
8 receptions, 102 yards, and a touchdown.
And on that deep pass, Mike Hughes was there. And I'm not going to say that deep pass was not Mike Hughes' fault. They have been manipulating our safeties, they being our opponents. Our safeties are good, but they jump routes. And they've been manipulating our opponents all year. Our opponents, have been manipulating our safeties all year. And Xavier Watts is going to be a great defensive player. He leads rookies in interceptions. But he jumps the middle of the route. He jumps the middle of the field all the time. And they went right behind him, and then Mike Hughes tripped. He bumped feet with A.D. Mitchell. A.D. Mitchell still catches it and falls, and they score. The offense.
I mean, but that's rookies. That's the same way. That's the reason I want Hawks to play Ace Newell. Play the guy so they can have the experience. Because once you have the experience, you can learn from it. But if you just sit there, right, play all the young guys and don't play none of the old guys.
I didn't understand the offensive play calling at times. I don't know who Tompkins was. I didn't even see that we signed him. I didn't see any of that. I thought we were signing an old boy from Minnesota, Naylor or something like that. And then we brought in Tompkins, number 83, and he's returning kicks. He's in the slot. We have David Sills. All those players from preseason that we had, Nick Nash, Chris Blair, who they all were there. We ain't played none of them the whole season.
5'8", 165 pounds.
And we look how many targets he got. He had almost the most targets between him and out of receivers. And we spam Bijan. Even with all of that, the end of the game execution is still frustrating. Why would you throw the ball 3 times and not make the Jets use any timeouts? That's confusing. Why are we running counters and pitching the ball to Algier on a stretch play where it's a fake dive, so there's no lineman or blocking out with him? He's not the running back to do that. That's the Bijan play. Why are we doing that with Algier? I don't understand it.
Why are you trying to understand it? We have known for at least a year that this ain't it. And they've confirmed everything that we already knew over this entire year. We've not learned anything about this team we did not already know, minus the rookies. And I think what we found out from the rookies, and Devon Diablo, they're good. It's just the coaching.
Yeah. Y'all need to go ahead and pay him right now.
I agree.
Do us a solid. Pay him. Pay him. Devon Diablo, we were 4-2. He got hurt, missed them 5 games. We were 4-7.
led the team in tackles here. Him and Caden Ellis. He had Devon had 8 total tackles, 7 solos, 2 tackles for loss. Caden Ellis had 8 total tackles, 4 solos. And Mike Hughes had 6 solos. And a tackle for loss.
That's not good when you're a DB. That's Correct. Kind of they've kind of figured out.
D. Alford at 5 and Jesse Bates at 4.
Rotation. They figured out this linebacker rotation. They have Harrison and Diablo, and then they play Caden Ellis, and they just let Caden Ellis run around now. And him and Jalen, they had this. Now they did have this defensive package that was great. Pause if necessary. They had Caden Ellis, James Pierce, Brandon Dorless, and Jalen Walker.
Have it
on the field, and then they blitzed Devon Diablo too. No, they blitzed Jesse Bates, and they got to say that there was nobody. Shout out to Arnold Ebiketie too. He's played really well this season.
I like this team. I just don't like the people who are making the decisions. There's not a lot on this team. I really want to say, like, I mean, of course, special teams needs an overhaul, but always had. I mean, recently has. I mean, we need more receivers. But for the most part, the bare bones of this team, I'm very happy with. We just need some complementary.
We got to tinker. We got to tinker with 1 or 2 more things. I will say this though. Oh, go ahead.
You can't tinker when coach, like, for what? What am I going to tinker for right now? So Raheem can ruin him?
Jeff Ulbrich, we got to have this conversation. Jeff Ulbrich is like the coach Undertaker. He was the defense. He was the linebackers coach and defensive court linebackers coach here under Quinn. When they fired Quinn, I believe he became the interim coach. He then goes to UCLA and becomes the defensive coordinator there. They fire the coach. He becomes the interim coach. He then goes to the Jets, becomes the defensive coordinator under Saleh. They fire Saleh. He becomes the interim coach. He then comes to the Falcons. They are talking about firing Raheem before the season is over and making him the what? Interim coach. That would be 4 stops in a row that you become the interim coach because the head coach is fired.
It's tricky, though, because Robert Saleh was done wrong.
Yeah,
and maybe, now I will say, maybe he's hitched his wagon to the wrong head coach. He needs to make better career choices. You're signing up for people
you take the job that's presented to you.
Yeah, but I don't know about that either. You don't have to take. I've always been very skeptical about Raheem because they never told me what he did well. And I mean, I think that a lot of people like him, but people connect
stock in the rumors that Raheem lost the locker room. So what I'm talking about for those that answer is that Ray, somebody said, some alleged insider, said that Raheem has lost the locker room since the Carolina game where we went 30 to nothing,
firing.
And they fired Ike Hilliard, and then they benched Ray and never played him again, and then eventually just released him, just cut him, no trade, no nothing. And somebody said that, and Ray liked it and responded and said he lost the locker room when he did me and Ike Hilliard wrong. Nobody has disputed
when
that.
They fired Ike Hilliard. What did I say? What did Ike do? What did he do? You blaming that on him, not the offensive coordinator who you had to pull out of the booth, and then that only worked for a week.
Literally one.
At that point, I knew he was just grasping at straws, and that will make you look at the coach and say, "Well, you don't know." I've been on teams before. You're like, you know what? This guy doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah, know what the hell he's talking about.
Right. But I ain't got no more time for these guys. Fire
that's it.
Zach Robinson. Next.
Cool.
Next season. Let's go
to the class of the AFC, NFC.
Well, hold on. How do you want to do this? Because you said you had questions. I got scores.
I want to know who's the class of the AFC, NFC. I have Seahawks versus the Vikings, and then Broncos beat the Commanders. Are those the two best teams in football right now?
Who?
The Seahawks and the Broncos. The Seahawks, and then I have a follow-up question or conversation about the Seahawks versus the Vikings.
Do I think the Seahawks are the best team in football right now? No, I do not. Who's the other team?
Broncos, Commanders.
Broncos. Deceptively good. Best team? No.
Justin Jefferson is a Viking next year. True or false?
Shouldn't have been one this year. I told y'all, go back and listen. Go back and listen what I told y'all. As soon as they got rid of Sam Darnold after having that year, I said very simple. I don't believe in J.J. McCarthy because I've never believed in J.J. McCarthy. With that being said, when it came to this season, I said Justin Jefferson is in his prime. If J.J. McCarthy don't come with it, then he's going to leave without him. Somebody is going to have to go. This is not a surprise to anybody. This was a mismanagement of assets from the Minnesota Vikings. You had the guy in your building and you let him go to Seattle, and now they're 10-2. And you are through. I don't honestly care because this is stupid. Now, the new conversation is, how do we fix this? Well, you shouldn't have drafted Mitchell Trubisky in the first place. Second part, they say your boyfriend run his money up. Mac Jones. I also saw the suggestion of Daniel Jones, which I can't imagine there's any way in hell that the Colts are going to let that man walk out of that building. And I think that he'd be stupid if he limped his broke leg ass out of there. You've attached yourself to a new phenomenal running back who's going to do the vast majority of heavy lifting for you, and you've just gotten the stench of the New York Giants off of you. You should stay right where you're at. Do not move. Don't pass go. Do not collect $200. You see if Peyton Manning got an old house you can move into, and you ride that thing on out.
Yeah,
as long as you can.
Taylor, yeah, they just need a receiver,
right? And shout out to the Ursay girls. They're running that organization fantastically. Yeah, you can be over there with the women's empowerment group, and every game she be there with the headset on. She know what's going on. Hey, bro, those women are running that organization and running the hell out of it. That's a place where you should stay. And one thing about those women is they're going to be infinitely more serious about winning because they know that if they don't win, they're going to be disrespected,
viewed, and ridiculed. Yep,
exactly. And we all work with women, and we know when they come to work to work. Guys want to do all the rest of this and laugh and kiki. No. We here to get shit done. And I would stay there. Now, Mac Jones, congratulations. You've rewritten the alma mater. You have gone from a joke to, hey, man, you're the new guy. You're going to have, you are going to have your opportunity now to be the new free agent quarterback in a draft that's not great. And there are not many people who are not zombies who are still around. Now, I will say that, well, I'm going to let you talk for a minute. But yes, Mac Jones is the guy. And you roll the dice. But J.J. McCarthy, you are the butt cheeks we thought you were.
I ain't got much to say. Y'all know I love saying we told y'all, I told y'all. I told y'all when he was meditating at the goalpost for the national championship game. I told y'all when they played against Georgia and they had old boy, the quarterback, the senior, and he wasn't good. I can't remember his name. He transferred. And they brought in JJ McCarthy and he ended up throwing another interception. I told y'all that they run the ball at Michigan. 2 tight ends.
We never saw him throw the ball. He's never been an elite passer.
And he went out there
y'all
to the
drafted people on
combine and threw a
vibes.
good out route. And all of a sudden, y'all thought he was the next
Zach Wilson.
guy.
Zach Wilson.
Will Levis. Like those are those people.
Damn,
so you and then he made it cringy.
How y'all be young and suck already? Like, damn, you just gotta retire already.
Then he made it cringy by saying 9 is his alter ego. Since he said that, he has not won a game.
Okay. I am.
That's awful. So I don't have nothing to say about them.
I
never y'all get. If
I never saw him
Atlanta,
play
good.
He'll
be on the first. I'll go drive to Minnesota and drive him down here.
The only thing that he's done well is play on a team that cheated.
Pass the ball to the better. I mean, give the ball to the running backs. All the running backs play with it in the NFL. Every single
correct. One. Right. There is something I do want to bring up because it's tough to be black. And the reason I say it's tough to be black is Jacoby Brissett has been starting since October 12th. His first game, he had 320 yards passing. The second game, 279 yards passing. The third game, 261 yards passing. The fourth game, 258 yards passing. Then he goes crazy. 49ers, 452 passing yards. Comes back. First of all, throwing for damn near 500 in a game is crazy. Then coming back to the Jaguars and throwing another 317 yards for 1 touchdown. And then against the Buccaneers, another 300 yards. All you stupid ass teams with no quarterback and no hope and pissed off receivers, you deserve what you get. Because you could have let this kid play the season. And by kid, I mean adult, because he's an adult. And at least you keep your receiver happy. Him and Jameis are starting quarterbacks in the NFL. But we have to watch stupid people play quarterback instead. Now you have a wide receiver in Minnesota who's like, I want out. Let me tell you, if Jacoby Brissett or Jameis Winston was the quarterback for Minnesota, Justin Jefferson be happy as a pig in slop.
He would be. He definitely would be. You're right. And I think all of those games he threw, they lost. Most of them.
Correct. I have been watching these stats like, God damn.
But all his shit be like 1 touchdown. He'd be like 500 yards, 1 touchdown. You'd be like,
well, I mean, how many people can you name on the cards? The one guy who you can name, he's replaced. And Marvin Harrison Jr.
Trey McBride is probably top 3 tight end in the league.
Fair. I'll give you
that. But they ain't got no running backs. All their running backs hurt. All of them.
Right.
The 4th string.
But if you're a receiver, winning be damned. Give me the stats. I'm trying to get paid. And until teams understand that, you're gonna have more and more receivers who want out. And if you're a financially solvent team with an opportunity, I'm telling you, if I'm the Denver Broncos, I gotta have one of them. I gotta have Justin Jefferson or I gotta have AJ Brown. Somebody is coming to Denver.
Yeah. I agree. All right, next question. Or series of questions. Series discussion point. You have the Packers. All right, stop. You have the Packers beat the Lions. You have the Cowboys beat the Chiefs. You have the Bengals beat the Ravens. The Bears beat the Eagles. And then the Texans beat the Colts. Out of all those teams that lost, which would be the Colts, the Eagles, the Ravens, the Chiefs, and the Lions, all fighting for playoff spots or fighting for playoff position, which team is it panic time for?
Okay, so let me start here. Packers and Lions, nobody needs to panic. You need to fix your shit. Y'all are both very solid teams. I don't know if you're Super Bowl contenders today, but you're solid teams who should make the playoffs, probably both. And I wouldn't want to play either team. Chiefs.
So no panic from the Lions yet.
No. Chiefs. You have to panic because you're the last. I think they're like the last. They're the lowest ranked still playoff eligible team, I think maybe.
They are the number 10. They are the number 10 team. They are one game ahead of the Dolphins.
Correct. Yeah. Now, the schedule just kicked your ass here. I told y'all on Saturday Morning Live, nobody has cornerbacks to guard George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. And
nobody had cornerbacks to guard George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb.
Correct. So you have to be afraid because you're near the Dolphins. And being near the Dolphins, as you can see from the own Dolphins, is not a safe place to be. But this was just a very inopportune time to play the Cowboys, who, I mean, they ain't doing shit, but they can ruin your day every time. Bengals, burn this shit down. Burn it on down. Burn it on down.
Talking about the Ravens? No, the Bengals don't need to panic. The Ravens, they beat the Ravens.
Everybody on this flyer needs to panic. The Bengals need to panic because Trey Hendrickson is injured after you brought him back, which you waited too late, which their off-season lack of movement is costing them a lot. They have some serious issues. I don't really know what they do, but their season is over. Baltimore. I don't give a hell what y'all do because you do it to yourself. Surprise, surprise, the Baltimore Ravens needed offense and couldn't get any. This is the story every year around this time. I know that the Baltimore Ravens fans don't want to hear it, but I don't want to see it. And 14 points against one of the worst defenses in the NFL is indicative of your struggles. I don't care if you panic or not. You should have panicked in the offseason when you had an opportunity to go get some different players and you didn't. That's when you should have panicked. Now, whatever comes to you, comes to you. Lose to Cincinnati is not good, though. Y'all was on a little, y'all looked like y'all was coming out of the depths, and you lose to one of the worst teams currently in the NFL by an embarrassing margin. Panic or don't. I don't care what y'all do. You're a little sorry-ass team.
Bears, Eagles.
Bears, congratulations. This is a big win. Y'all are doing a very good job of legitimizing this team. I want to give a shout out to Ryan Poles. They extended his contract at the beginning of this season. I said, whoo, paying him before he did anything is surely a risk. It seems like it's working out so far as they are top of the NFC North and looking more and more legitimate. This is also a big win against a team that I think that most people thought that they were going to lose to. Eagles.
Panic.
My answer here is firmly on the shoulders of Jalen Hurts. You have to figure out what to do to get this team back together. You can say the offensive coordinator all you want to. You are the quarterback. And if the offensive coordinator keeps telling you to do stupid shit, you probably might need to stop listening to him. You need to go to A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, and y'all need to figure out how y'all can be a better team. Y'all might have to break up with the offensive coordinator and say, hey, we're going to do this our way. I think that the offensive coordinator is probably on borrowed time anyway. I don't think that I don't think he'll be around next year anyway. And if he's back, A.J. Brown, you're a damn fool if you go back. So I would just say, hey, man, we are the reigning Super Bowl champions. We are going to go in here and we're going to get this thing back together because this is a talented-ass football team. We can't let ourselves get in the way of our success. You saw New York Giants. You saw Danny Dimes and Saquon. We've seen too many other teams who just don't address the difficult conversation in the room and allows it to poison them, and then the team falls apart. Jalen Hurts, I think that you have been a good quarterback in this system. It is in your best interest to find a way to help A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith find a way to happiness. Because if you let them walk out of the door, that's going to be more pressure on you, and you're not going to get a replacement that good. And I think that as a quarterback, it is wise to keep the best receivers you can. It's a solid investment in your existence.
So for me, I think Detroit should definitely panic. Detroit right now is in the 8th seed. They're 1 seed out of the playoff. San Francisco is 9-4 and don't look like they're going to be losing too much. I expect San Francisco to probably beat Seattle one time. Split with Seattle. Probably may split with the Rams. Right behind them, half game, is the Carolina Panthers, who are in the NFC South, and they just beat the Rams. I think Detroit has to panic. And if y'all remember, if you go all the way back on our podcast and go to our posts, you'll see that I had Detroit missing the playoffs. And I think that's going to happen. I think it's panic time for them. The Chiefs, y'all past panic time. Right now, we said y'all are 10th. The good thing is you're only 2 games behind Buffalo for the 7th spot. But Houston is playing very, very well. Pittsburgh, y'all going to catch Pittsburgh. But Houston is playing very, very well.
I think the Lions are caught in growing pains. I think that them. I mean, I agree, but I think that this is just what happens when you lose your entire coaching staff. It don't look the same, and it don't. It doesn't. It just doesn't. But that's also what happens when you hire a really good coaching staff. I don't have a good
coach, and that's what y'all told me though. Well, he's kind of offense. He's kind of a whatever. But y'all got mad at me in the comments. They all there. Y'all said I was crazy. You said I'm stupid.
Losing. I mean, you don't know. You don't know how valuable a coaching staff is till you lose it.
Yes, you do. I do. I knew.
I agree with that, but also in that you never know. All right, well, some of this is coaching, and you hope that the coaches have coached the players to be better. So, all right, well, yes, I'm losing the coach, but I hope that they learn something. These guys need more coaching. You need more coaching.
Baltimore, panic. Y'all lost to the Bengals.
Don't panic. Y'all never panic. No. Y'all got Lamar.
Baltimore, y'all lost to the Bengals. Lamar looks very uncomfortable in the pocket. Derrick Henry, I don't even know if falling off a cliff can really illustrate how far he's fallen in 1 year. I don't know if it's him. I know the fumble thing is a big deal. Remember, he fumbled it earlier in the season and dove on the damn bench. Like, that's the Ravens.
You're too big to be diving on the bench, too, boy.
6'4", 250. The only thing saving the Ravens is that the Pittsburgh Steelers aren't good. If the Pittsburgh Steelers were mediocre,
that was always a scam. Woo.
Yeah, and lo and behold, they said, "Hey, it's really the Steelers' offensive coordinator." No shit. Y'all hired the Atlanta Falcons fired head coach as the offensive coordinator, and we sat here and told y'all, "Hey, no shade, no hate. no hype. This is not the right hire. I think I quote and I said, "Hey, Mike Tomlin, this may get you fired." I think I said that verbatim.
What about the double tight end formation is what you think? The answer is, and he specializes in tight end twos. That's always the best. That's always his best target. Tight end number 2. Well, throw Rogan, bleed not the face, fractured wrist, 3 fractures in the wrist, 3 cuts in your eyebrows trying to wild out.
Broke nose, all that stuff. He was there looking beat up.
And ghost wife.
Oh yeah. And then yeah.
I don't feel bad for the Steelers at all. Y'all, like, that's the reason that I might be just missing this exercise. But don't panic now. This is what you wanted. If you get what you wanted, then don't panic.
I talking about the Steelers. The Steelers, I don't think Steelers are going to be a playoff. It was the Ravens for me. We had kind of crowned the Ravens as going to come back and win this division. And now I don't know. I think it's panic time for them.
Reggie, Zay Flowers, wide receiver 1, 2 receptions, 6 yards, 7 targets.
Yeah, Lamar doesn't look good.
Told you 2 years ago you should find a real wide receiver 1. Y'all decided to do. I mean, Isaiah Likely, 5 receptions, 95 yards. Mark Andrews, 4 receptions, 47 yards. But let me tell you, this is not spaced to feel very well at all.
Arthur Smith offense. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Monken, you got to figure it out, or you come back to Georgia. I don't care.
If your offense is built around your tight ends and the running back, guess what? You can stand in the same space and guard the majority of those guys.
Yeah. Yeah, you can. Yes, you can. Eagles, panic. Y'all should have been panicked. Don't nobody want to be there. Nobody likes each other. Y'all have 0 team chemistry. The defense calling out the offense. The offense, Caleb Williams led the comeback, and y'all couldn't stop him. And he ain't got, he got receivers. But
he's good. He's good. And y'all need to apologize.
The Eagles, panic time. AJ Brown is literally blowing up the team right now.
No, he's not. And I'm not putting that on him. The offensive coordinator is blowing up this team. AJ Brown is voicing his opinion that what I see is bad. If you see a fire, say fire. He's doing the right thing. Now, could he have probably a little bit better? Yes. But I am also I'm under the impression that he's probably said this before. And now I've voiced it. I think he's voiced it to the quarterback. I think he's voiced it to the coach. And the actions haven't changed. So, yes, now I'm going to wild out. And I get it because that's kind of how I do. I'm going to tell you, hey, you should stop this. Then I'm going to tell you again, you should do something about this. Then after that, I'm no longer responsible for my behavior.
Yes, you are. But I get what you're saying. Texans, Colts.
If I'm miserable, we all going to be miserable.
Colts, y'all don't need to panic. Here's why. Y'all are 8-4. Y'all are tied with Jacksonville. I have more faith in broke leg Daniel Jones than Trevor Lawrence because of that team. I think the Colts team are better. I think the Texans, unfortunately for the Colts, are peaking at the right time. But all of y'all are 8-4. Ooh, y'all tied with Buffalo and the Chargers. Justin Herbert just broke his left hand. They don't have Joe Alt. I don't expect it. I expect the Chargers to kind of fall.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, rightfully so. Just get out of there. But this is the thing. You should have sat Daniel Jones. The man's leg is broken.
Legit.
Spinal.
X-rayed. Like they showed it on the X-ray.
We saw him hobbling. You played him, put him at risk to get hurt worse or not heal, and you lost. You took 2 L's. You took 2 L's. Right. That's the part. And I'm low-key mad with the Texans. Y'all should have. I ain't gonna say that man's name because he had a traumatic leg experience. But ain't no way you gonna tell me, and I'm Will Anderson, that man over there got a broke leg. And you ain't gonna think I ain't break it all half. I ain't break it in half.
I would have blitzed 75% more.
I would have. Hey, brother,
engage.
We're gonna see if you can get the ball out in 3 seconds or less every time. I am going to, yes. Because this is the thing. Even if they over blitz and lose the game and take the quarterback out, there goes your season. Your other quarterback,
division opponent. Now I got to worry about Trevor Lawrence taking himself out.
You're right. I will take the loss to put him out. Because Anthony Richardson also already done for the season, broke the orbital bone. I don't even know who the other quarterback is. But I assume him to also
probably
be Max.
Number 12, just like Minnesota's quarterback.
I was about to say, I assume him to be Max Brosmer. And I assume that all third quarterbacks are Max Brosmer because we don't know who any of them are. Except for Russell Wilson, he's just.
So that was that. I think those are the panic teams. I think the Lions should panic. The Chiefs should panic. The Ravens. I think everybody but the Colts should panic in that group. And then, of course, we got the other games. Everybody's still in the hunt. The 49ers. That NFC West is crazy.
This is the zombie team. They all hurt, but they just find a way to win. Now, I will.
Christian McCaffrey.
I was right. What they're doing to him is criminal. Number one.
Oh yeah, he gonna have 18 more months of football.
Right, and 80 years of struggle. Shedeur, what do you think?
I wanted to do Saturday Morning Live just because I didn't want y'all to think that this was going to be a hindsight. I knew this was about to happen.
We all did.
Robert Saleh is one of the best defensive minds in football.
Correct.
Jerry. So before I get to Jerry, I knew that this was going to be a struggle because now you have tape on Shedeur. You didn't have tape on Shedeur before. Shout out to the Browns for even keeping it semi-close because of the defense. They got something. Well, I mean, they got Myles Garrett, but that defense and plus that defensive tackle is pretty good. But then you start wheeling and dealing to McCaffrey, and it's just nothing you can do. Shanahan, once he figures you out, he's gonna run that same thing over and over again. Browns, ain't nothing you can do, bro. Ain't nothing you can do. There was nothing you could do here.
This is what I wanted to say Shedeur from. 16-25, 149 yards. I guess. I mean, that's a pedestrian game. 1 touchdown, 3 sacks.
I think if you look at I would be interested to see the last 5 games of the 49ers, what the passing averages have been. I think they shut down Bryce. They shut down Penix. They shut down. I mean, that defense, the way that Salah has them playing, they are playing well. I don't think Shedeur. You could have put Deshaun Watson, Shedeur, Dillon.
Bryce Young, 18-29, 169 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions.
Yeah, that defense is playing extremely well.
I think they got cooked by your boy though.
Penix?
Maybe they didn't. Jacoby Brissett, 47 to 57, 452 yards. God,
that 20 to the 20, he was cooking. He got inside that red zone.
He had the capacity. Boy, throwing for 457 yards. That's also just mismanagement. That is somebody else who needs to be fired. But and then the crazy part is they talking about the Browns drafting another quarterback.
Yeah, they floated that during the draft last year. But they also thought that there were going to be more quarterbacks coming out Then the only right now they're at 2.
Why you use 2 draft picks this year? You got to pick one of these guys.
No, you don't.
And Watson. You can't use any more draft picks on quarterbacks. I mean, you can, and we think you will, but that's not a compliment. We think you're stupid.
1999 was 26 years ago. They've been drafting quarterbacks almost every year since 1999.
Correct.
Why you think that's going? What do you normally say?
Bro.
Why do you think they're gonna make good decisions now? Isn't that what you say all the time?
Yo, looking for a quarterback since Y2K is some of the craziest shit.
Bro, since the 1900s. You've been looking for a quarterback since a whole century ago. 1900s. That's crazy.
Yeah, we've been searching for a quarterback since the late 1900s. God almighty.
But yeah, so shout out to the 49ers. Really, there's really not. Yeah. The Jags destroyed the Titans. The Jaguars are in 3rd place in the AFC. Won't last long, but they're there.
Liam Cohen. Duval. They're gonna get you fired.
That's how
they're gonna get you. They're gonna get you fired. They're gonna get you fired because they're gonna be just good enough where it's like, oh, why doesn't he win? But this team's just not really that good. We all know that. And instead of you saying, hey, we should probably leave Trevor Lawrence and all this foolishness around, and then I don't think that at this point I'm happy with the Travis Hunter pick. I think in hindsight, I would not pick him again.
No, but I mean, he's been hurt. And I mean,
well, that's what happens when you play the kid on offense and defense in the NFL, and he's been playing offense and defense for the last 2 years.
I think that could be the best thing that happened to him. Was him getting hurt.
Rest,
and hey, we tried. It didn't work. You're gonna be cornerback number 1, and we're gonna pay you cornerback number 1 money when it's time to re-up.
I remember this gentleman telling us this 2 years ago. You know what? He's probably just cornerback 1. No, he probably wide receiver 1. What dope are you smoking?
Y'all. Whoever be arguing with you, I wish I could just be a fly in the room.
No, you don't.
Because I was like, why would you think he quarterback? He wasn't even wide receiver 1 at whatever. I ain't gonna get it's correct. I'm not gonna get that. I'm not doing it.
Multiracial McDaniel, yeah.
I actually have this under we don't care.
No, we do, because this is all Billy Napiering. You know it's over. Put people out of their misery. The continuation of doing things and knowing it's over is now called Billy Napiering. And that's what you're doing. And I don't know what you get out of this. If I'm the coach, I need to be fired so I can start looking for another job. You see Robert Saleh? He got right on. He got right on out of the Jets. He went right on to the 49ers. We're going to have a good season. And I think that Robert Saleh is a guy who should be in contention for another head coaching job soon and very soon.
He's linked to a bunch of openings. So they're talking about he might go to the Giants. He's linked to
don't go get out of New York. Don't go back over there. Them people stupid over there.
Tennessee, Tennessee wants somebody like Mike McCarthy. They want the offensive coach. He's linked to a lot of play.
I wouldn't go to Tennessee either. Robert Saleh, you need to. Sometimes you gotta wait on a good job too.
Yeah.
Or
come to Atlanta with Albert.
You find you a good you find you offensive coordinator. If you can find you
do that every 3 years though. Every 2 to 3 years you have to get a new offensive coordinator.
Such is life. This is everywhere else is going to be ghetto. At least Atlanta, you come in and say, hey, man, this team is kind of built. And you can have James Pierce Jr. and Jalen Walker. How you like that?
Albert, who runs the exact same scheme that you run.
Right. And you got Xavier Watts, Billy Bowman, Jesse Bates for a couple more years. And
AJ Terrell,
and a collection of like defensive linemen who
Dorless,
kind of
Oro,
that play as a
Divine
group.
Diablo. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
I mean, it might not be perfect, and you're right. You might have to find an offense coordinator every couple of years. Well, Robert Saleh, that's going to be your life as a defensive-minded coach. That's how the shit goes. Go ahead, accept your plight in life, and figure out a way around it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the rest of those jobs,
you got the Panthers went up here.
Yeah, we talked about it with the Rams, but
we did.
Yeah. And even when we talked about Saturday Morning Live, I was like, hey man, y'all might want to put your eyes on the Panthers. It's they figured it out. See, this is the thing with teams is they're in the weird space where Canales and Bryce are kind of figuring it out piece by piece. Tet is the guy who we thought he was. All y'all who were skeptical about Tet, you tripping. Other part is Arizona. What were y'all doing? Y'all just wasting him. He was good. You was you. And then you have the Panthers leadership at the top, David Tepper.
He's the real quiet.
Yes, but he's also the real problem. You were ready to fire this guy. Now they could win the NFC South a year later. But this is what happens when you have unqualified people who have way too much money and way too much control. They think they know what they're talking about. Now you're all in the video. Now you're talking about, oh, he ain't our quarterback. You're gonna have to pay Bryce. And the smart thing is, pay him tomorrow.
Yeah, should pay him now.
Because the more games he wins, the more expensive he's gonna be. Learn from Dallas and Jerry.
Mike Tomlin is the coach of the Steelers in 2026. True or false?
Don't care.
They talking about what I heard today was from Schefter. The only way that that Mike Tomlin isn't the coach of the Steelers is if they agree to part ways. And that more than likely, if that happens, the Steelers are going to try to facilitate a trade.
I mean,
I don't know about that one.
I do. I actually 100% agree. But did y'all see the last transactions y'all made?
George Pickens, number 3 receiver in the league.
Y'all got DK Metcalf. I think that you're right. You have a heavily sought after asset that is under contractual agreement with you. Even if the time is up, you know that on the other side, there's a market that's waiting for you.
Yeah.
So if I know that there is a large market for this asset, you got to come get it from me. Sure.
Yeah.
I think that once again, just from a business point of view, it makes sense. It's really you not being stupid. You know, hey, this thing is valuable. Even if it ain't working for me anymore, by the time I put this sofa at the curb, somebody gonna pick it up. So no, I'm not gonna. I want something back for that. And I mean, they have been good for a long time together. So yeah, it's gotta come to something at some point. I want something back. Now, I don't think that they manage the crisis well enough for me to trust them. I think that they have been mismanaging this team since Ben Roethlisberger not getting a replacement. So it kind of is what it is. I think that their head is in the right place. I don't trust him to make the right decision, though.
No, why would you?
But this is all they're doing. They've had a series of really bad decisions that I don't think I'm the smartest guy to ever watch football. I think that we've pondered about it pretty consistently that these things are things that they should not do, and then they go right on down there and do it.
If you hit your wagon to some people, you're gonna go down the road with that wagon.
Right.
It burns up, bro.
And when the wheels fall off and you die from dysentery, like this is the Oregon Trail, good luck and Godspeed, my friend. But the Steelers have done this to themselves. I said, Tomlin, while I think that he is a very good coach, he's done a lot of things to also get himself in this situation. So yeah, it kind of is what it is.
Yep. But I'm going to end it right here. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of episode 209 of the SplashCast Monday Night Raw. Norwood, take us out. If we forgot anything.
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, thank you guys for rocking with us late at night on Monday Night Raw. Number one, more black baseball. Ronnie Rockets is in Venezuela hitting home runs and playing excellent baseball. I'm excited. Number two, anything can go here. We're going to look for a replacement soon and very soon going into the new year. Number three, the historically black college university you went to, your auntie, your uncle, the person you used to laugh kiki in the back of church with. Send some money over there, man. We have to support HBCUs more than ever. Earmark your money and tell them where you want that money spent. Do it. Also, Tennessee State, send some money over there. They got a hockey team, bro. Support that team. And then of course, $18.68 on behalf. Oh, no, number two, the historically black college university in your neighborhood. The one you go to for homecoming, step shows, vibes, classics. I forgot that. I've been forgetting that because we've been going to classics. Send some money over there and invest. Go, when they have something, buy something from a booth, buy something from a vendor. And then of course, we ask for $18.68 on behalf of the year that Hampton University was founded. The greatest learning institution in all the world, the one that you see right there. Outside of that, always remember, like, follow, subscribe, follow me, follow Reggie, follow the pod, follow the Lord, stay hydrated. Y'all stay safe. Adios, mi amigos. God is love. And we are out of this thing. We will see you guys on Saturday.